It's Gem City Tonight with Andrew Medakaitis, featuring music director Jay Stanton. Tonight's guest, podcaster Mike Shea, rugby player Chris Morris, the manager of the Neon Movies, Jonathan McNeil, and from the McGovern School of Dance, Irish dancers Caleb Dilger and Vivian Holmes. And now, here's your host, Andrew Medakaitis.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I feel like I just changed ties. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gem City Tonight. My name is Andrew Medakaitis. This time I actually have full control of my show. Because last time, if you don't know if you saw the episode, I lost it to Keith and Ricky. So, that's fine. That's fine. They're both better looking than me. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. Yes, now it is March, which means things are going to happen. St. Patty's Day is coming up. March Madness is right around the corner. And all around the U.S., people will be drinking themselves into a stupor because they have no idea who to vote for. Not a clue. The primary, I think, is kind of around the state, because it's not the same for every state, is it? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, this presidential debate's kind of like a bad relationship that we can't get rid of. It controls most of our stuff. We can't quit it. It pays for half of our rent. I don't know, that's just me, I don't know. I don't know if I can talk about this for another monologue because we've been talking about it for what, almost a year now? Oh, God, who's it gonna be? Biden, Bertie, and that, what's that cute little kid from Indiana? What's his name? Butt on the Edge, Bite My Cabbage? What is his name? Mayor Petey. I don't know. He's so cute. He's like, I'm gonna grow up and be a candidate. I can be a real boy. No, I actually kind of like him. But anyway, all I know is that Elizabeth Warren is looking more and more like the woman who sends her food back in a Cracker Barrel. With good. These eggs are eggy. Is her middle name Karen? With a Y. 3 kids in a Suburban and a pumpkin spice latte. Get out of here. Let's talk about actually something we care about here in Dayton. And it's going to be a point of contention around every water cooler for the next few weeks. It's March Madness. We love basketball in this town. This year, the Dayton Flyers have had a great chance to get in. I think they're going to, I actually think they are. And because it turns out they've been breaking records they're in the A10? Yeah. Like, they've been breaking records all over. They won like 16, 17 in a row or something. I don't know when this show probably airs, it's probably going to be like more than that. So, but however, I found out, did you know March Madness starts on St. Patty's Day? And guess where it begins? Guess who hosts it? We do. UD, Dayton. Yeah. We are going to be drunker than Dublin in that town. Don't even tempt us. Challenge accepted. The last few years, the UD Flyers have actually made renovations. They worked with the NCAA, that way it could host bigger things and have bigger events. So, I mean, we've always supported basketball in this town. But the new arena has a lot of cool new things, like there's a new gift shop, there's lots more seating, and you can get a beer for $18.95. Real deal. I think a bucket is like $92.60. But you don't get to keep the cup, or the bucket, or the ice. You gotta drink them warm. Yeah, you're renting it anyway. It's just, I'm not going out of frame. I'm not doing it. I'm going to do it at some point. But anyway, actually, Larry Haskins is a great friend. He's been the voice of the UD Flyers for the radio for years. He's a good guy. And he does that Mr. Clean look, too, that, like, it's just completely bald with a beard. So I liked that joke. I like Larry, too. Anyway, whatever. So, actually, true story, a few years ago, I was bartending downtown, and it was St. Patty's Day, UD was playing, and it was a bar near campus. It was the Thunderdome in there. People were on the bar, they were kissing people, they were sweating, throwing things, nipples, toes, it was crazy. You saw everything. That bar is actually closed now, shocker. Crazy enough. Yeah. But it's good. It's going to be fun. We're going to support the Flyers, so go UD. All right, moving on, though, still talking about it for those of you who lived under a rock for the last 60 years. Do you understand how the brackets work, Jay? Do you do a bracket, by the way?
I do not.
Why?
Because I don't do the sport. ball thing.
You don't do sports balls?
No.
I do, but I suck at betting. I might as well set $20 on fire and just go to a bar.
Right.
There's no way. And so the way the brackets work is the number 1 seed plays the 16 seed, and that works in the 4 different divisions. And then 2 plays 15, 3 plays 14, and so forth until they match up in the middle. I think it's like 7 and 9, or 7 and 8, or 8 and 9 end up playing each other. But it's ridiculous. That means a 1 plays a 16. That's like Duke playing Sinclair.
Right.
Like the Harlem Globetrotters are playing the Washington Generals. You know how it's going to end. You know what's going to happen.
But you can't look away.
I know, right? It's like kind of like a train wreck. It's like my first marriage. I said it under my breath this time. But anyway, there's that one rare time where a 16 seed actually beats a 1 seed. It's like they call it a Cinderella story. It's like the captain of the chess club taking out the prom queen. 99% of the time, it's not gonna work. But every now and then, boop boop. I could do that. I didn't say anything. I don't think deaf people watch this show. All I know is that March Madness, everyone, including myself, stays fairly drunk because all they have to do is listen to Dick Vitale on the radio. If you don't know who this is, Google it, and then you'll hate me. Because he talks like this the entire time. He makes Bernie Sanders sound like Shakespeare. He has the voice of an angel compared to Dick Vitale. Yeah, baby, yeah! No, Dick, no. No. This is also a man, this is a true story I've seen in public. This is a man who will sit at a restaurant with a box of books, ask if you want one, autograph it, and then charge you $34.95.
Oh, nice.
Not making that up. I don't care if he's watching, it's ridiculous. But yes, basketball really does take over during the month of March, which I apologize to the 6 of you watching, including my friend Zach, who are hockey fans. Nobody cares. Nobody. I've been to a Blue Jackets game, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? Where's the puck?
Yeah.
What's happening? You go to a fight and a hockey game breaks out.
Yeah.
That joke takes a second.
Yeah.
It takes just a minute for the lead in, but yeah.
Winner.
Yeah. So March is actually a bunch of things. Did you know, this is for you, Jay, did you know it's actually National Caffeine Awareness Month?
Really?
It really is. Cheerleading Safety Awareness Month.
Okay.
Can't make it up. And Breast Implant Awareness Month.
Okay.
Does March just sound like a frat party?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Is that all it is?
Yeah.
By the way, just out of curiosity, how do you get a day named after you? We're going to do some research. Like, how do you get, like, Dayton Day? Or how do we do, like, Gem City Tonight Day? Trust me, stay tuned. We're going to hashtag getting a day named after us. We're getting it done.
Let's do it.
So of all the things going on in March, and speaking of things going wild, the Cincinnati Reds are starting spring training. Notice no one cheered.
Yay.
Yeah. Greg's back there going, The Reds a few years ago were one step away from, what do you want, a single? Go. What do you want, a double? Go, start running. What do you want, a homer? Just get over the wall. But no, we've actually made some good trades. They are in Arizona right now. And we have a bunch of players that came in. We actually made some good trades this year. For instance, we have catcher Jake Taylor from the Mexican League. We have Willie Mays Hayes from an undisclosed team. And pitcher Rick Vaughn from the California Penal League. There it is. They're still going to be shitty. I think being a Reds fan is kind of dangerous. Because every Reds fan after 4 games is like, we'll get them next year.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever been to the Great American Ballpark?
I have.
It's right near the river.
Yeah.
So it's like, seriously, after we get our butts kicked, it's like, jump in the river, go to Kentucky. We won? Shit, jump in the river, we go to Kentucky. Liquor's cheaper over there.
Yeah.
Oh, and finally, speaking of getting out of town, Japanese billionaire, and I don't know who put this on the screen, Yusaku Maezawa, I think so, he's a fashion designer, has launched a galactically bizarre campaign, and I'm using the word galactically completely correct in this incident, to find a female partner to fly around the moon with him.
Wow.
Yeah, are you kidding me? According to the website promoting this campaign, he isn't just looking for a friend, but a significant other in which to go into space with. Like, I can't get someone to go to Applebee's with me. Are you kidding me? In fact, this is true. It says this is a serious matchmaking event called Full Moon Lovers.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? The contest and parameters is open to, stay tuned, ladies, women over 20, have bright personalities, enjoy, I need to read this right, enjoy life to the fullest and want world peace.
Wow.
And then with 3 ellipses, and I'm not making this up, says, oh, and also wants to go to space.
Yeah.
Don't you lead with that?
Yeah.
I got a cat, I'm allergic to shellfish, I'm going to space. Did you lead with that? I think it's going to be really interesting. This gives a whole new meaning to holding his asteroids.
Oh.
Thank God they're not going to Uranus.
Ah!
And when she's done, she'll be touching the Milky Way. Hell! Oh, we got a great show for you tonight. But first, Jay Stanton. I know they were bad. I did him anyway. I did him anyway. Oh, I did him anyway.
A little bit Irish. Hush now, don't you cry.
Keep going. I want to hear it.
You want me to sing it?
Yeah, why not?
Tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. That's an Irish lullaby.
Woo!
Woo! Reminds me of House Sitter. Did you ever see that movie with Steve Martin?
No.
And Goldie Hawn? Hysterical movie. He has to sing it. He has to sing Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen House Sitter, you must see it immediately.
You know
It's
what
funny.
the coolest thing I learned is?
What's that?
You know what a Donnybrook is? It's an Irish term. You know what a Donnybrook is? It sounds adorable.
It sounds lovely.
Does anyone know what it is?
It's a pastoral scene.
Okay. It's in a fight when someone loses an eye. It's called a Donnybrook. It sounds like someplace you would get married.
Absolutely.
Next to. Like, oh, we had a Donnybrook.
Get a Donnybrook.
Oh, we had a Donnybrook. No,
it's a glass
it's
ball.
when someone loses an eye or like a limb or a finger in a fight.
Wow. Okay.
That's a Donnybrook.
Okay. I'm glad to know
How
that.
did they come up with these?
Come up with all sorts of things.
So what are you doing for St. Patty's Day?
I'm staying out of the way. It's amateur night.
You don't drink anymore, don't you?
I just don't drink.
Yeah,
It's just not my thing. Yeah. I
I
mean,
know
I
we-
do. I'll have a glass of wine. I'll have a Guinness. You know.
I know last year when we did it, and I think we stayed in the same rankings, Dayton actually beats Boston as one of the drunkest cities in America.
Oh wow. That doesn't surprise me. You know, we lead in
I
the.
starts clapping at him.
You know, we lead in the amount of cars that have run into buildings. Did you know that?
Yes, we do.
And like last week, there was two of them.
Apropos of not St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, don't run into
Yes,
houses.
there's a guy who actually has a podcast, Todd Holst. We had him on the show. Thank you.
Yeah.
We had him on the show.
Yeah.
That he actually counts the number of cars that crash into buildings.
We has 2 more this week.
Yeah. Why?
The hell?
I know. What do these people do? And it's like in the daytime. It's
Yeah.
not like at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're
There's
hammered.
plenty of fire hydrants, parked cars, and trees.
And people.
Yeah.
You could hit
Mailboxes.
something else.
Yeah.
Fences.
Yes. Houses.
Why-
Nope. Drive into a building.
Why
Welcome
do
to
we?
the Gem City.
Like I thought we were so like forward in like our patents. Like a lot of people probably don't know that Dayton invented the Cheez-It,
Yep.
the ice cube tray.
Yep.
You know, flight.
Pop top cans.
By the way, if you're watching Kitty Hawk, you can go to hell.
Yeah. North Carolina, bite
You had
it.
wind,
Yeah.
sand,
Yeah.
and space. That's it.
Great place to fly a kite.
Get out. Get out.
Yeah.
And the only reason, this is right at you, NC. The only reason you got to have first in flight on your license plate is because you were a state first. But we were like, screw that.
Yeah.
Birthplace of aviation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Orville and Wilbur, right over here.
Yep.
Right over here.
I'm gonna burn you down.
Kitty Hawk. Make my blood boil. What else? We did cash register,
Yep.
heart and lung machine.
The soda pop cans. The top.
Yeah, we did. Okay, so we did the ejection seat and parachute, but we invented them a week apart.
Wait, which came
Exactly.
first?
Wouldn't you think after we bounced a couple people off the tarmac We'd be like, these guys are not cats. They are
We need
not
to
landing
slow
on their
them-
feet.
We need to slow them down.
We probably, yeah. Bill in R&D should have had a scotch and been like, listen, guys, this isn't working.
I
A
don't
week
think
apart.
so.
Week apart.
Give me another drink.
Give me some of those.
You're
Give me
a
another
pretty
highball.
girl.
Highball. What else did we do? Oh, the plunger. So you can flush your toilet. The plunging system.
Oh.
Yeah, that was us. You're welcome. The folding ladder.
Oh.
Oh, the pop top.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
What's the other big one? Oh yeah, the starter for your car.
Oh, yeah.
Charles F. Kettering. Fun fact. I'm wrapping it up. I'm liking this. All right, fine. Last piece of information. Do you know the first car to have a starter with a key? Anybody?
It was a Nash. No, I don't know.
Anybody? Cadillac.
Oh, well.
Yep, Cadillac. So, little fun fact about Dayton. And yes, I think we still rank like third in like drunkest for, but whatever. Be safe, be responsible. And by the way, in case you needed to know, you puke in an Uber, $85 out of the gate. $85. I think it's $100 now.
No, it's more than that.
It is?
Oh, yeah, I think it's like 200. It's ridiculous.
Just don't puke in an Uber.
Just don't throw, yeah.
Also, don't try to get an Uber like I did with the sliding door and try to get nuggets and make it like it's a high-speed exchange at Wendy's. Like, I got the nuggets, he got the cash, let's go. Yeah. He's like, I cannot go until you close that door. I cannot go. And I was like, damn it, you are not yes-anding.
What a killjoy.
You are not yes-anding. You did not take improv in college. I understand that. You are not yes-anding. All right, we got a great show for you. More with Gem City tonight after this.
I'm like 50 years older. Like, I feel so bad.
I want to make sure that all of them kind of
Table for two.
Hey, Ben.
There's always somebody who can be there for you. Call 1-800-273-TALK if you need help.
What was that?
Carole King, jazz man.
Oh, not a big nut. Carol and I don't talk anymore.
What?
I don't know. All right, so we're back with Gem City tonight. So, as we did before with the Oscars episode, we have Jonathan McNeil come on from the Neon and do, great guy, and do what we have a segment now called Coming Attractions. So take it, Jonathan.
Thanks, Andrew. Here at the Neon, and want to give you a rundown of what we're up to and what we're showing. We just opened the new film Emma, which is the most recent adaptation of the beloved Jane Austen classic from 1815. It's been made numerous times before, and this one is by Autumn de Wilde. It is her feature-length debut as a director. And it stars Anya Taylor-Joy. Some Neon fans might recognize Anya from the film Thoroughbreds, which we played a couple years ago. It was a dark comedic thriller that gets really dark by the end. And some of our fans really liked it, and some were a little turned off, but it certainly helped with Anya's career. So did the film The Witch from 2015. That's what really launched her into Hollywood. As I mentioned before, this Emma has been made numerous times in the past. Most recently, there was a '96 adaptation with Gwyneth Paltrow and Toni Collette. And there was also a version in '95, which was called Clueless, interestingly enough, with Alicia Silverstone. So interestingly, a modern day take at the story of Emma. Emma is, as I mentioned, written by Jane Austen, and the very first line of the book is Emma Woodhouse, handsome, clever, and rich. When Austen wrote the book, she said that she was writing a character that most people would not like, but she did. And she's pretentious, and she's a meddler, and she gets in everybody's business and is trying to be a matchmaker. And she's a little hard to take sometimes, but she's a lot of fun too. And this film in particular is very amazingly art directed. It is full of great costumes and great set pieces and other familiar faces like Bill Nighy. Bill Nighy is a Neon regular by sure. We see him all the time. We saw him recently in The Bookshop, Their Finest, Cry, Notes on a Scandal, Constant Gardener, and of course the huge Neon hit, The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, with Judi Dench and Maggie Smith and all those other Neon favorites. So I think actually what we should do now is probably take a look at a clip.
Dearly beloved friends, we gather here in this time of man's great innocence.
Innocence? Innocence? No?
Mr. Elton!
Emma.
That can scarcely be done when a father is a gentleman and a gentleman of fortune!
Miss Woodhouse! Miss Woodhouse! Such news!
So as you can see, Emma is actually visually stunning. The color palette is really lovely. The costumes, the set, like I mentioned, really just terrifically done and produced film. A little quirkier than other adaptations, has a little bit of a Wes Anderson vibe going on here and there. And I think that fans of Jane Austen are really gonna, love this because they come out for almost everything that's Jane Austen related. But this one's got a lot of familiar faces that I think people are really gonna appreciate. Other things that we've got coming down the road, March 20th to the 22nd, we're going to have 3 special screenings at noon of Miss Fisher and the Crypt of Tears. Miss Fisher is a character that a lot of folks, a lot of our regulars love, and I know a lot of people in the community love from public television, and she is a detective, a period detective from the 20s, I believe, 30s, and this is the film that is getting a theatrical release as opposed to playing on TV, and we're doing 3 special screenings of it. Also on April 2nd, a film that I know a lot of our regulars are really going to love, and a lot of people in the community, I'm sure, is The Library That Dolly Built, and it is a documentary about Dolly Parton and her imagination library that has provided millions of books to toddlers and young people to encourage literacy and reading around the country. So that is a one-time only screening on April 2nd at 7:30, and tickets for that are available now as well. So we've got quite a season coming up. Spring is one that's sometimes a little bit slow for us, but this one is chock full. And in fact, some dates are even having to be pushed back because we're having such success with other films that we've got. And that's a good problem to have. So I'm going to toss it back to you, Andrew. Thank you.
I love it. He knows more about movies than anybody I know.
He's great.
He's awesome.
He's a Gem City treasure.
He really is.
Yes,
he really is. And the Neon is a great place. It's one of the only theaters in downtown Dayton. We filmed there before. I love that he's going to be on the show. So thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, comedian Mike Shea is going to join the show. So stick around.
On August 11th, my brother Max wrote these words and hanged himself. He was only 15, and he had his whole life ahead of him, but he was tormented and bullied until, hopeless and alone, he took his own life.
Though Max's pain is gone, the pain of his family will last a lifetime. Don't let this tragedy repeat itself. If you or someone you know is speaking or thinking about suicide, talk to an adult.
What wouldn't you do to stop it?
It's like name that tune every time we come back. I love it.
I like that.
This is fun. I like this. This is going to be a thing.
Lover, Come Back to Me?
Yeah, I definitely
It's an
never
old.
heard that one.
It's a good song.
Never known.
Yeah, it's a Hammerstein.
All right, we're back.
It's a Hammerstein.
So I got a great buddy who's coming on the show. He was on the first season. He came back for this one because I love him so much. Put your hands together for comedian, great guy, Mike Shea.
See you.
See you, buddy. See you.
Thank you.
I like that pin.
Oh, I love this pin.
Yes.
It's great. Looks so dwarfed and tiny on my huge chest.
Because you're so swole.
Because I'm so swole. That's the word for it, yeah. Swollen.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Good to be here. Good to be doing this now instead of having to entertain you like a dancing monkey.
Yeah, you did well last time.
I did. It was fun.
You have one of my favorite.
I did. I love how Christina's like, yeah, I did pretty good. I was all right. That's good.
Absolutely. Well, you have one of my favorite jokes. What's the one about yours? The white crayon joke?
Oh, I'm about as popular as a white crayon.
Yeah. I love that one.
It's my favorite joke. I wrote that. I laughed every time I wrote. I laughed the first time I wrote it, and I tell it every show. Get about the same reaction every time.
Doesn't matter. No, trust me. Some of the jokes I write for here, I was like, you know what? I'm keeping it. I'm leaving it in.
Oh, so you're writing your own jokes for this now?
That's why it's not funny.
Okay. Yeah. It wasn't funny when I was writing for it either. So.
We need to get you back. We need to get you back.
We need to talk to my boss. Mikey got bills to pay.
So one of the reasons I wanted you back, other than just you're hysterical and a great guest, is you have morphed your show from Mike Talks Funny into a new podcast.
Yeah, when I started Mike Talks Funny evolved 2 or 3 times too. It started off just me talking about doing stand-up. That got boring real fast. And then I started just interviewing comedians, and then I ran out of comedians to interview. And I decided I didn't want it to just be a spotlight on other people's show. I wanted it to be a show about, some of my favorite memories are going with my friends to just little quiet dive bars and having a drink and just talking about stuff. And since I live in my mother's basement, it's not.
We're just going to gloss over that.
We're just going to gloss over that. But the basement, it's a finished basement. I've got furniture, and I always one of my bucket list dreams is always to open like a little underground bar,
like a speakeasy.
Like a speakeasy, yeah. And so that's kind of the feel I wanted to have for the show. So we ended Mike Talks Funny. We relaunched and rebranded as the Basement Lounge last August, and it's been a great change of pace because my favorite thing to do with people is just talk with them. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten to have great conversations and learn a lot about people who I've known for years, and I've gotten to learn so much more about them. We've had you on a couple of times, and we just had Dusty Harvey on. It's been a great experience because the show feels more like my own thing now as opposed to trying to be something else.
And it was funny because we did the Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah.
Which episode? Actually, I think we got a clip from it. Let's show that right now. And you know what you're not doing? Sending shirtless photos.
That's true.
Exactly. That's what you're not doing.
Exactly. You're doing something right.
You're doing the better part of the other side.
But I think part of the reason I've never sent a shirtless photo to a woman is because, well, one, I own a mirror. And I see it every day, and I'm
self-aware.
Like, nobody. Yes, I know what I look like. It's fine.
Some Russian bride will like it. So you picked the one guy. A lot of viewers don't know. I got my first marriage. I was married on Valentine's Day.
That was a great way to start the show off.
You couldn't have. And then Claudia was
fantastic.
She's fantastic, and one of the things that. If you listen to the whole thing, because it's about an hour and 15 minutes.
I think grand total ended up being about an hour and a half. It was an hour. It was one of the longest shows I've done.
And we find out that other than we were drinking White Claws.
Yeah, at 11 o'clock in the afternoon, or morning, I guess technically, while eating donuts.
He bet me I wouldn't do it.
He was like, "Cool, bring the White Claws," and I was like, "Oh, haha, he's so funny." He showed up with a case of White Claws.
What? Yeah, just like.
Which I had never had before, and now I'm hooked.
You're welcome.
So thanks.
But like at one point, Claudia's like, because my grandparents were married for 52 years, in love, and da 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 da. And Claudia's like, yeah, none of my grandparents are still married. Like, we couldn't have picked two literally polar opposites.
It was such drastic contrast between you and one of the things that we got asked was our thoughts on women proposing to men.
Yeah,
proposing marriage to men, and it was so crazy because before I even finished the question, Claudia was like, "Oh hell no! Oh no!
And I'm over there with a drink, and I was like, "Bring it! All right, I'm cool with that."
But it wound up being great because I posted that clip on our Instagram page, and the debate that it sparked in the comments was actually, it made me feel good because I was like, oh, people actually watched. Oh, great. This is awesome. I matter.
I know who asked that question, and I was like, it's incendiary on its own premise. I'm like, you would.
But it did make, but that was the thing, is it made for a great conversation between people, and that's why I love doing the show.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun. It was great.
All right, well, stick around. I got some more questions for you.
Oh boy.
We'll be right back with Mike Shea. Mama.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
You're all right.
Sorry.
It's okay, Gabe.
You don't know that one.
So this is a game I play with him. He tries to like play music, and it's like name the tune.
That tune. Can you name that in one note?
Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain by Willie Nelson.
I was gonna say Friends on the
That's it. You got it.
All right, cool.
Winner.
I'm out. Out. So one of the other things that I want to touch on is you are really, really big into not just comedy, but you work a lot with, helping promote other people.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I got into stand up. Like this October will be 15 years I've been doing stand up. I started in high school, and I'm still just going to bars telling poop jokes. And but I've worked in music, I've worked in radio, I have a degree in broadcasting, I work in TV right now, and I love being able to help people get a platform that maybe they didn't realize they needed or didn't have on their own. I've been real fortunate that I've had the kind of jobs that I've had where I've had an outlet to share the things I do, and so there's so many people out there who don't realize how easy it is to start a podcast nowadays.
Right.
Back in the day, it was you had to have set up an RSS feed and you can get the equipment, and there are mobile apps now that do everything for you, and it's created such a great community in production that people don't realize is out there, and so getting to introduce people to that and just build fill that well up and have all that great talent come together it's a great feeling. I love doing it.
It's awesome. Like I said, I was on Mike Talks Funny.
Yeah.
And I was on this one, and you just there's no topic you don't cover.
No, I typically don't touch politics only because everyone else does.
Right.
And it's one of those where I'm too lazy to do the research myself.
It's the Google.
It's yeah. I sleep. Yeah, no, I don't think anything should ever be off limits. You know, if somebody comes on and wants to talk about politics, that's fine, but I never seek out for it. But I feel like I'm all for the free exchange of ideas and opinions, and that's why, again, that's why I love doing stand-up and being broadcasting, because that's the nature of the business.
Right.
So yeah, anybody wants to come on and talk about, you know, when you came on, we talked a lot about, you know, suicide prevention and depression and things like that. We, you know, even on the Valentine's Day episode we just did, we got into some serious stuff. You know, talked about, you know, the funny bad in relationships and the not funny bad in relationships, and yeah, it's if you have
like getting tased.
That was a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. Or dropping your fiance off on a military base so she can go, you know, bang her CO. That was fun.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I should write a book.
You really should. You really should.
I can't tell you how many times when we had this conversations, you guys were like, I got one to top that. I got one to top that. So, Mike, what do you got? And it usually ended with, oh.
Yeah, no, but it was funny because like all three of us kind of conceded, like, no, that one's bad. No, that one's pretty bad. And mine was like, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And we all did it.
It was good.
So how do we find it?
How do you find it? The Basement Lounge is on every podcast app there is: Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all that. We just started. Actually, the Valentine's Day episode was the first one we started doing video with.
Yes.
So it's now on YouTube as well. Just search the Basement Lounge. We have a website, basementloungepod.com, and it's so easy to find. We do new episodes every Friday. If you join the Patreon, patreon.com/basementloungepod, $1 a month, you get stickers, and you also get the episodes early and commercial free. And we're looking at starting to do live programming. Like it's been a great way for me to really branch out and create new programming without really being like restricted.
Good. A question I always asked in the first episode, I'm asking now. Favorite place you're going and dating?
Oh man, well my buddy Travis just introduced me to this. I love barbecue. I love food, and he just introduced me to this place downtown called Texas Beef and Cattle.
Yep.
Best brisket I have ever had, and I lived down south for 12 years in the land of barbecue. Best brisket I have ever had is at Texas Beef and Cattle. Cannot recommend that place enough. It is fantastic.
Well, there you go, Mike. I want to thank you for coming back.
Thanks for having me, man.
Trust me, next time you're doing stand-up again. Yeah, I know. You're welcome. Mike Shea, thank you for being on the show. You can find him at the Basement Lounge. All the information. We'll be right back with more Gem City Tonight.
Too marvelous for words.
No.
You're just too marvelous for words?
Oh, just too marvelous.
You're welcome.
I thought you said two. Never.
Yeah, too marvelous for words.
I thought he said like two, like Fords, like cars. I was like, what? Never mind. Anyway, we're back with more Gem City tonight. So we talked about St. Paddy's Day in our theme, and I have always wanted this on my show, and Ricky came through, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So put your hands together for Caleb Dilger and Vivian Holmes, the Irish Dancers. Now, here we go. Please have a seat. So you are out of the gate. You are fulfilling a huge dream I've wanted to have on this show. So we tried to do it last year, couldn't get it through, and this is so cool. So yeah. I'm kind of fanboying right now, just throwing that out there, so just let you know. Yeah. So first off, thank you for being here. And how does one get, I'm Scottish and I do the kilt and everything, and that was a family thing, but how does one get into Irish dancing?
Well, you find a school that's near you, and you join it. That's a simple answer.
He's already like,
yeah.
you go dance.
Or usually your family is into it before you pass generations.
Is that happening for you?
Yeah. Okay. My sister actually started dancing, and I loved it, so I wanted to join.
They came to my school, and they would perform there for St. Patrick's Day, so that's how I got into it.
Nice. And you're both at the McGovern Irish Dance?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. How long have you been doing?
12 years. Yeah.
You were like
16.
I was like, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. You?
9 years.
Okay. So this might be a dumb question, but obviously, like around St. Patty's Day, you're probably busy and so forth. But like, is there a year-round call for it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
We have competitions all year round, and if we don't have competitions,
I'm sorry, there's
performances-
competitions?
Yeah.
You are blowing my mind right now. I am made of questions.
Yes.
Where does one, like, where do you go? Or like, is it like nationwide?
It's
or?
nationwide, all over the country, all over the world.
Do you compete?
I do, yes.
Okay. Have you won ever?
Yes.
Oh, no, you can say it. You can say
Yeah.
it. She was like, I've won. That's fine. Own up to it. That's great. You?
Yeah, I recently got second in the nation this past weekend, so yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
I'll clap to that. That's awesome. So what is something about Irish dancing that the normal person, other than seeing it and so forth, wouldn't know?
Well, it provides a community for everyone that wants to enjoy it, and it not only provides a good atmosphere, but also celebrates diversity in everyone's cultures, and yeah, that's something that.
What about you?
Your dance team becomes your family, and you can trust them with everything. They're super supportive all the time.
What would you say to someone watching right now that wanted to get into it? What would be the pushing point? Like convince me to go Irish dance.
Yeah, it's super fun. If you're an adult, it involves drinking. So I mean,
see, he's playing
yeah,
to
like
his
I
audience.
mean, it involves.
He's playing to his audience right now. It's a hell of a salesman, Caleb.
But also, it's really fun to dance, and it, like I said, it's really fun. So why wouldn't you?
You can totally do it. So I have like really weird feet, like normally, and if
That's
I
not
can
in
dance,
my notes. That's not in my notes.
She has weird feet.
If I can dance, you can dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is this something that you want to do long term? I don't know the longevity of Irish dancing. I don't know the range of it. It's not like golf you can play your whole life, or like basketball you can only do for so long, or whatever. Like, what's the future?
You just go until your legs stop working. That's.
And is that before or after the drinking?
Before.
Okay,
yeah.
just checking. I didn't know. But you're underage, so don't worry about that. We don't talk about that. So, it just blows me away. Like, I love seeing it. I've always enjoyed it. And, all right, you know what? Enough about me. We're going to go to commercial. When we come back, Caleb and Vivian are actually going to dance. So we'll be right back.
A diagnosis does not define me.
And vision loss doesn't determine my character.
It's our drive that shows who we are.
And we are here to let those challenged with blinding retinal diseases know
That we are driven too.
To be a beacon of strength, a champion of courage,
an advocate for hope.
We fund.
we fight.
We win.
We
We are the foundation
fighting blindness. Join the fight at fightingblindness.org.
You know that one?
I don't know that one. We play this
Looks like
game.
we made
It's
it.
like name that tune. So,
Yeah.
all right, we're back with Gem City tonight with Caleb and Vivian, Irish dancers. This is, like I said, this is something I've always wanted, and I can't wait. So, take it away. I got tired just watching you guys. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. How many times do you practice? You've got to be in fit. Yeah, you're like out of breath.
Probably 4 times a week.
Nice. God, 2? You got that was great. And by the way, this is fantastic. Can we get one of these for the show? This is some outfits. I like this. I mean, he's already snazzy, and I'm getting outdone here. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show, Vivian, Caleb. Really appreciate it. How do we find you? How do we come and see you? What's like?
Well, we perform at many festivals around the Dayton area, like the World Affair that's happening in May, and the Dayton Celtic Festival. So that's just a lot of performances that we do.
And McGovern Irish Dance.
Yes, McGovern Irish Dance.
Perfect. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll be right back with I'm Still Out of Breath with more Gem City Tonight.
Artemis Center is Dayton's domestic violence resource agency dedicated to serving survivors of intimate partner violence and their children. For over 30 years, Artemis has been providing supportive services to increase safety for survivors in our community. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. We know domestic violence can be confusing and terrifying. We are here to provide you with a personalized safety plan, resources, referrals, and a safe space to process your thoughts and feelings. No matter where you are in your relationship, if you're contemplating leaving or wanting to stay, Artemis is here to help you. We encourage family and friends to call us on the hotline. We understand how difficult it can be watching someone you love navigate their relationship when abuse is involved. Our dedicated and highly trained staff can help support you through a variety of our free, gender-inclusive services, which include our 24-hour hotline, support and education groups, therapy for children who have witnessed violence, therapy for adult survivors, accompaniment to criminal and civil courts, help in obtaining a civil protection order, and providing advocacy to aid in your situation. Remember, you are not alone and the abuse is not your fault. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please call our 24/7 hotline at 461-HELP, 461-4357.
Oh, I know that one. Okay, all right, I know that one.
I had to give you an easy one.
Thank you. All right, due to the beauties of, television, turns out that Caleb and Vivian weren't mic'd, so it was just, theater for the deaf. So, once again, thank you for that. That was amazing. How do we find you again? You're saying it's going to be World Affair?
World Affair, Dayton Celtic Festival, all around the city for St. Patrick's Day. But you can also find us on our website at mcgoverndance.org and on our Facebook and Instagram page at McGovern Irish Dance.
Perfect. Yeah, that was more information that I actually wanted. So glad you weren't Mike. So we had to come back. All right, that's our show. I want to thank Vivian and Caleb, Mike, Shay, hopefully Jonathan for everything, Jay, my much prettier sidekick.
Yeah.
I love doing this show. Remember, Dayton, you're not alone.
And you never will be.
Have a good night.
To 40 million cats roam our streets in the United States. These community cats do not have an owner, and most were born and have lived their entire lives outside. Often, they're called feral and are closer to wild animals than our domesticated pets. These community cats, if they are not spayed or neutered, can quickly reproduce with 2 cats becoming 30 in just 1 year.
For decades, animal control programs across the U.S. have been catching these cats. They have tried adoption programs, but these feral cats are under-socialized and often unadoptable, which overpopulate shelters. This failure has meant that communities have often turned to catch and kill protocols in order to try to deal with their community cat issues. However, research has shown that catch and kill programs do not work. When the cats are killed, it leaves their territory, your neighborhood, open to attract more feral cats who will continue to fight, continue to spray, continue to reproduce, and continue to be a problem, causing you and your community ongoing emotional and fiscal problems.
Instead of those costly failed programs, SIXA Pet Adoption Center, the animal welfare community, and responsible municipalities across the United States support trap, neuter, return programs, TNR for short. Years of research has shown that TNR saves lives as well as protects your community from becoming a vacuum that is just continually attracting more and more yowling, fighting, and reproducing feral cats to your neighborhood. As a community resource and animal welfare advocate, SIXA Pet Adoption Center is here to help. We have supplies, knowledgeable volunteers and staff who can provide advice and support, as well as medical clinic that performs over 4,000 spay and neuter surgeries a year. Whether you need help or want to help by volunteering or donating to support our life-saving mission, please call, email, or visit our website, sixa.org, for more information.
Remember, TNR saves lives.
We Care Arts believes in the healing power of creating and producing art that transforms physical, developmental, and mental health challenges into a future rich with possibilities. Since 1983, we've been providing a caring and safe space for our artists to engage in artistic exploration as they work through life's challenges. We currently serve over 1,700 individuals at our Berkeley Center studio in Kettering and at more than 40 off-site locations. Our program goals improve our clients' confidence, focus, individuality, communication, and responsibility. As a result, our artists demonstrate improved job, life, and socialization skills. When asked what We Care Arts means to clients or staff members, a common response is family. It's amazing watching our clients create beautiful art while honing and developing their skills and passions as they realize their full potentials. At the heart of our program are the many generous supporters who help bring the We Care Arts family together. It's through their generosity that we're able to provide the healing power of art to so many in the Dayton region. There's many ways to get involved with our organization, such as donating art supplies for our programs or sponsoring a client's program attendance. You can also donate your time. Whether assisting clients or working on special events, our volunteers contribute more than 28,000 hours annually, but their value is much greater than that. Their connections to our clients are immeasurable. Purchasing art from our retail stores is another way to directly impact the artists. It increases their sense of self-worth, builds job skills, and supplements their income. The remaining proceeds from sales are used to support and grow ongoing We Care Arts programs. We have a beautiful boutique at Town & Country Center and a renovated studio and shop at our main location on Wilmington Pike in Kettering. Magic is the only way to truly begin to describe what goes on inside of our studio. We're changing lives every day, fostering meaningful relationships, creating confidence, self-esteem, and improving overall quality of life for our clients. Our artists walk into the studio, set goals, and accomplish things they never thought possible. If you'd like to see more of the magic that happens at We Care Arts, please visit our website at wecarearts.org and follow us on social media. For more information, you can contact us at info@wecarearts.org or by phone at 937-252-3937. We would love to welcome you as part of our community.
YWCA Dayton is on a mission to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. Since 1870, YWCA Dayton has protected and advocated for some of our community's most vulnerable individuals, including battered women and their children, victims of sexual assault and human trafficking, women at risk of homelessness, and girls in marginalized populations. These services are offered free of charge regardless of race, health, or background. YWCA Dayton provides the only domestic violence shelters and rape crisis center in Montgomery and Preble counties, offering a full safety net of trauma-informed crisis support services. This includes the Miami Valley's longest-running 24/7 crisis and domestic violence hotline, 937-222-SAFE. YWCA operates 4 housing programs that help stabilize and shelter women at various ages and stages, from those exiting our domestic violence shelters to women who have experienced chronic homelessness and trauma. All of our housing programs provide wraparound support to strengthen life skills, secure employment, and develop a network of supportive and empowering relationships. YWCA hosts a youth development program called Girls Lead, which encourages, motivates, and empowers all girls to develop holistically with strength, courage, and wisdom. Girls Lead offers a safe place for girls to express themselves, instills a love of learning, helps counter stereotypes, and builds skills and self-confidence for healthy, successful futures. In the 1800s, YWCA Dayton became the first YWCA in the U.S. to open a branch for African American women and girls. This marked the start of more than a century of work for racial justice and equality, with a particular focus on the intersections of race, gender, and poverty within our own community. Today, we advocate for public policy and legislation that supports racial and social justice, and we advocate for an end to discrimination against women in every sphere. At its core, our mission is simple: to preserve and restore the dignity all women deserve. To learn more about our critical work, visit ywcadayton.org.